You think Bitcoin's going to hit $1 million?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I'm a perma bull, right? So
Yeah. I'm assuming you still own a large amount of Bitcoin.
I don't personally own Bitcoin.
What?
I'm on, like, I'm inside the industry, right? Like for someone outside the industry, I'll be like, yeah, own Bitcoin. I believe in Bitcoin, but I get to take a lot more risk. So if Bitcoin is 2xing, I'd want to be in something that's 10xing.
Got it. So you think the appreciation of Bitcoin is going to be slower going forward than other opportunities you have in front of you?
Definitely. As the number gets, like, people have the psychology, like as the number gets bigger, maybe, people tend to invest in other things.
So tell me, do you think that there is an opportunity for Bitcoin to be replaced by a better technology? Because if you were to say this to somebody who is a Bitcoin maximalist, they would freak out and just absolutely lose their mind. But in every other aspect of technology, we see technology being replaced by the next thing. It's very rare that a technology or any standard stays forever. I mean, we do have some examples of ones that have been around for a while, like the open web or email. These are standards that have lasted decades, but typically speaking, things get replaced with something better. So what do you think the chances are Bitcoin gets replaced with something that's much better? And what would that look like in your mind?
I feel like there's very low probability that Bitcoin gets replaced, not because it's superior technology again, right? Like it's a single-celled organism, and that's where we started. But what we should understand is blockchain is not about the tech; it's about the narrative and the story. So the blockchain is, you have to analyze and understand blockchain. It's very political and a more of a like you have to do a religious study about it than an economical study or a technological study about it. So Bitcoin winning and Bitcoin staying the top currency is for the good of everyone, because if we can break Bitcoin, that means that everything else can be broken too, and that means that the base of this whole movement is always shaky. So it's in the best interest of everyone in the Bitcoin or not, to make sure that Bitcoin wins. So it's like that. So even for me, even if I'm directly not invested in Bitcoin, I'm always talking about Bitcoin and making sure that people enjoy Bitcoin, and from there they take the other risks. Because my point is, you cannot talk about the other crypto's origin story without talking about Bitcoin, and that gives it the value.
So even if there's a better technological solution, something that operates much more efficiently or provides other benefits that Bitcoin doesn't, and Bitcoin doesn't adopt those features quick enough, you still believe that everybody should support Bitcoin, because if Bitcoin did collapse or get replaced, it would cause a contagion within the crypto and people would lose faith in the crypto industry.
Yeah, that's correct.
So you're describing basically like a cult or religion. You kind of use the term religion, right? You believe Bitcoin is a religion more than a technology?
That's why I started a little before. I was saying there are so many analogies we can go by, and every analogy is a little wrong. So,
yes.
So that's one example.
But the most right one for you for Bitcoin is religion.
Definitely.
So religion first, technology second, and maybe utility.
Maybe third. Like technology, may in case of Bitcoin, is maybe third. It'll be economics, right? Like on the second level, yeah.
If Bitcoin were to stutter or fail, what would be the cause of that, you think? Because we did have discussions early on. Hey, China's going to come out with its digital currency. Other countries are going to have their own digital currencies, and they could, of course, regulate Bitcoin to the level that it would be not economical. They could put a tax on mining. They could put a tax on using. They could basically tax it or ban it outright. And we haven't actually seen that happen, have we?
I don't think China would take that route, right? Like if China has to be more Machiavellian, what they would do is they will let mining really flourish and then try to firewall attack the whole Bitcoin system. And probably China would, they are in the best situation to pull that off compared to, trying to shut it, censor it, because that does not make a lot of sense for them. But I don't believe like a CBDC is going to stop, or the interest that's on Bitcoin will be like reduced because of CBDC. It's very, very hard. But yes, the countries are going to try very hard. But cross country relationships right now are becoming harder and harder. And I feel like we have to understand Bitcoin from a context of governments which are not in a very good position, right? So there are countries in the world like the US where it's fine, the system is fine. Singapore, the system is fine, but it's not the same in the rest of the world. And I think that's where Bitcoin is winning, right? Like it works very well in a country at a time. And then, there's another country for its use case. And this keeps going on. And people have this narrative built in their head. So, it's just easy. You can just remember it very well and you go for it. So that's going to keep happening.
Well, what do you think the pieces of Bitcoin that are going to be, or the aspects of Bitcoin that need to evolve, or that new currencies are going to just do much better?
So the scalability, right? Like especially the transactions, and I feel like what we have today. I've been recommending, if I have to go recommend DeFi to someone today, right? It's not Bitcoin, right? And I'm also very reluctant to recommend Ethereum because it's like $100 a transaction, and someone who has $1,000, I really want to tell them, don't put your money in the bank. You can convert that into USDC, and then probably like make 10% and maybe some more tokens which are given for free instead of buying Bitcoin. But the thing is, to do that, they have to spend $100, $200 transaction. So I think that's very important to be solved, where, the transaction fees is something that's very low, like a sub $1. And that's when we really get the crowds in.